Boys is getting quiet. Go on and get crunk. Head back to Longview, Kelly popping trunk. I ain't even tripping. Riding and I'm sipping. Let me come through, 4-4, steady tipping. On that new lap. Watch the trunk crack. Let me sit sideways, CB running back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping cause we some athletes. Messing with Smitty in the summertime. He get pissed if we don't make our time. But we gon' get it, cause we gotta finish. Nebraska Horn Hustlers, man, we diminished. Put them boys little, paint like a skittle. I ain't even tripping, I ain't never double dribble. Cause I'm a player from the Himalaya. Let me sit sideways, man. Maybe back door, maybe fall off. Sipping codeine cause I gotta kill a cough. Let me sit sideways in the big Benz. Oh, you boys, they my brothers, they my friends.
All right. Welcome into Fullback U. I say they're going to be the best. I say they're going to be the funniest. But man, this is my guy. Super duper proud. I haven't even told him probably, but what the most amazing football career of any of us not named Adrian Peterson. Honored to have my brother Chris Chester on. How you doing, Chess?
Thank you very much. That is quite the introduction. I will hope to kind of live up to it.
Did you think that was going to happen coming out of testing?
I don't know. It's hard to even look that far ahead at that point, especially coming to Oklahoma. That's the biggest. In my life, that was the biggest moment I've ever had. So I don't know if I look that far ahead. I kind of feel like most things, I feel like it just kind of happened, and then it worked out. Yeah.
Big time tight end, huge high school, played with one of your teammates, Frosty Rucker, up in Cincinnati. Why OU? Why not USC, UCLA? Just like he went to USC, but why not a Cali school?
Yeah, coming out, there was just a difference in the energy around it. They were knocking on the door, winning the national championship. 2000 with Josh Heupel, and it was just it was the first time I felt like football was God. So and that being said, I came, my high school, we had a lot of really good. We were putting out guys. Guys were getting scholarships every year. Going to big schools, good players, but the energy is just different. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but it was just a different energy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. People have heard me, and I'll get to it, but there was a different type of discipline just all around, from Smitty to Bob but you had the honor of Coach Hayes. I've done his impression plenty of times. If you can, just describe that relationship. Talk about what it was like playing for him.
I love Coach Hayes. Like he's this big, imposing, like kind of fatherly figure. Got this massive voice. He's very like if there were a cartoon about him, James Earl Jones would do it.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Debo's character, James Earl voice, yeah.
Right, like it was like the voice of God sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he's a great coach, and I liked you looking back on it. I really appreciated how much he kind of approached us like more like pros than like college players. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
There's a level. The accountability it's more about you than it is like I can't quite put a finger on it, but there's a different. I could only liken it to like there's a difference in the way you discipline a 5-year-old versus a 15-year-old. And he kind of made you feel like a 15-year-old in this in that metaphor. And so yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It was kind of like a peek into the pro window, which was kind of cool too.
No doubt. Just the way I'm with you. He coached very situationally. So Monday through Thursday it was hardcore tough, and then Friday was learning. and it was like
Right,
super
right.
like, are you good here? And you're like, is this the same guy?
Yeah.
We got to meet Christian Okoye out at the Rose Bowl. Hey,
Yes.
Chooch! Just Christian Okoye just pops up in meetings and just sits between us, like and I don't know that a lot of people know, but you and I got moved into you guys' room, so I was literally sitting behind you and just trying to learn everything. So we had a pretty cool friendship. Sucked because eventually you had to move out of the room. I don't think you were very happy about it back then.
It was a short term suck. Yeah, I'm not. That all worked out. I don't know.
We'll talk about that. Like the initial decision, who talked to you about it, and then going through it and all that, ending up where you are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it turns out, if any kids listening, sometimes coaches are right, and they know what they're talking about. No, but seriously, like it was. I'm glad I did it. Like it was offensive line. Coming from like my background in football, like this high school, whenever I didn't play really before then. So, I was always a blocker, and I always had that mentality. It's very blue collar, the whole thing. I mean, obviously, you know the same thing, right? We're always
together,
and we like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
Like that's okay. We like it. I like that role. I guess bigger picture here. Here's a kind of, I'm going on a tangent here if you don't mind.
You're good.
But it's really cool when I think of the experience of like, it's kind of the reason I like playing offensive line. It's a lot of people coming together for a common goal, and which is kind of bigger picture. What's always beautiful about team sports and anything you're doing with other people. So that's my little "we are the world" moment. So yes, love one another.
Yeah.
But it's really cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
I was saying.
Go ahead. You. I'll tell after.
Okay. I guess so anyways, rewind a little bit. So I think it was kind of always in my DNA, and I'm glad. I'm obviously it for a lot of reasons worked out, but I'm glad it was the right decision. I'm glad Coach Stoops and the staff, and even Coach Wilson, everybody, I appreciate that they made that decision.
I remember when they first moved you, someone came in and talked to us, and he was like, "Chris has a chance to make a lot of money in offensive line," and we were like, "Are you really?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, we looked at his time because I don't even know that you know this, but they had looked at your like all your workout times and compared them to everybody, and one of the scouts had even said like at that time they were like, dude, he can make a bunch of money." I was hurt because I can't remember if it was orange or if it was just an alert. I wanted to see more of your catches like you got in Missouri. You have to talk about that. You had an ESPN top 10 moment. I think you made it was either number 1 or number 2, actually. So
I was happy to be in the top 10. That was good.
Do you tell your kids like, yeah, I've mossed somebody before, like I'll give you that work if you want it? Do you tell them that?
If they were before the YouTube era when they could look at it and notice, I kind of caught it with my forearms and elbow.
Maybe.
So they're like, hey, what was that? We call that a high point. Like I lose a little credibility as a coach dad. Yeah. So I try to keep it as real as I possibly can.
Yeah. You are coaching him now, correct? Coaching.
Yes. Yeah. So right now I'm doing coach all the kids, different sports, football, basketball. Got a couple kids doing track and stuff. And then I'm also doing like some training and stuff. So like some pro training, some college athletes, guys like that. Their off season stuff.
Nice.
Out there, and kind of keeps me busy, keeps me in the game.
Giving back. That's awesome, man. That doesn't shock me. I got to tell everybody before. I want to hear about your NFL career because I've never really got to hear about it and tell you some stories from that. But I wanted to give everybody kind of a visual. Chester, Bush, and Dante were some of the best teammates you could have asked. You already know where I'm going with this. You think they were some of the best teammates you could have ever asked for, and here's why. When in a male-dominated field, when there's so much aggression, there's so many workouts, everybody's tired, everybody's this, everybody's that. You guys were like this bright light of happiness all day, every day, right? And you needed that because everybody's so mad and everybody's this and everybody's that. Bush, still to this day, I fight myself because I would go home. Bush would joke with me. Every day he would get me. every day, and I go, he's not gonna get me tomorrow. He's not gonna get me tomorrow. He's not gonna get me tomorrow. Every time, as soon as he asks me if I'm hungry, I'm gonna say no, and so leave me alone. And he'd walk up to me, hey JD, you hungry, man? Yeah, I'm hungry. Eat a dick. I mean, you know, like what in the hell? He'd get me every time, but it was just those little things. You would hit me up one day, randomly, hey man, come by the house, and I would just get there, and little did I know, you, Bush, and Dante had went to the thrift store, all got in 80s clothes, glasses, and we're all doing karaoke now, singing Rick Astley or something like that. I mean, it was where did that side of you come from? What was all that?
Okay, so as a lineman, my role is a humble one. As like a fun personality, I think I'm gonna be very boastful here. It felt like, I'm big about metaphors here. It felt like when Bush, Pasha, and Dante I came together. It was like the scene in the first Avengers movie where they all kind of figure out. But it was really like we didn't fight crime or aliens. It was more like we just did funny things.
Yes.
And made fart jokes and tried to. It was like. It was like a more mild version of like Jackass or something.
Yes.
It was
much more wild.
And which got to get more excited. That was an influence of ours, and it was just like everyone was just like a different kind of funny. Like like Pasha was super smart, and he had like he could talk to anybody on the street all day.
And
Dante's like this kind of high energy guy. He bounces around, like he'll. Yeah, and he's a high energy guy, and then Bush is like this. I don't know. He's kind of like Joey from Friends, is what he reminds me of. Just kind of just like real silly, and like I have a little wittiness to me. I can get a good one liner in when the timing's right. I take a lot of pride in that. So we're basically like the Avengers of comedy for an era of Oklahoma football.
No, it was amazing. Yeah, we couldn't have made it without you guys. I want to talk to you about your NFL transition. Most guys are trying to get faster, trying to get. I was trying to lose weight, hell, I was fat. I'm assuming you were trying to gain weight. Talk about your combine performance, which was awesome. Let me know.
Yeah. So that was really. I remember that time. It was just everything was happening real. It was a really exciting time, but a lot of things were happening very quickly. I mean, as you know, as soon as you're done, and the NFL is something that's like, a possibility, everything happens really quickly, You kind of have to do a lot of things very quickly. So, yeah, and then I had my son. He's, my first son, he was, what was he, probably 5 months old, something like that. So we had to balance that, and my wife Kirby, she was still a student and trying to go to class and stuff, and also and babies do baby things, right? So there was a lot going on. It was usually always good. It was a lot of work. I think I finished maybe like 270 pounds my senior year. Not really big enough. Not big enough.
Right.
So through the tutelage of my old high school coach, Myron Miller, shout out.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have guys come in high school and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You'd have to like come in the weight room, and it was also very like, I want to also give him my credit because he was also feeding some kids who may not have been able to eat, which was awesome, which was great.
For sure.
But then, anyone who needed to gain some weight, was a little undersized, you would come in, you'd have to go make 2-3 peanut butter jelly sandwiches and just eat them throughout the day. Fast forward, in my senior year, I'm doing the same thing. And I decided to stay in Norman and train with Schmitty. And I'm glad I did that. It was just, again, it was a little bit of a transition, and I always had a pretty good relationship with Schmitty. I like to think we did. I hope you feel
if that's okay with you, Schmitty. I'm gonna say that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I thought we had a good relationship, and I'm glad I stayed with him, worked out, and it was kind of a little bit different, right? He treated me a little like he treated me more like that 15-year-old in my where it was he was doing things the right way, and I had a good relationship with Scott. I remember Scott and Rodney, everybody it was good. And then you knew they really cared. They really sincerely wanted you to succeed. So so train with them, go to the combine, that was probably I mean, that was one of my best, I don't know, would you call it pseudo collegiate pro moments, because that was a really good day for me.
That's awesome.
I had a really good combine, ran great.
Lifted like 26 or something like that.
27.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had a good day. Had a good day. Weighed in at 303, so from 270 to 303, and then ran well. That was all, like, things went really well for me, and and then you do a couple visits, and Baltimore told me that if I was around in the second round, they would grab me. And then I think they had an early second round pick. They did some sort of trade. At the time, I was like, oh man, but they did the trade to get Haloti Ngata, which the guy's he's being canned one day. So, so I get it. But anyways, and I get picked up by them, and then again, things happening very fast. They draft you, they call you, and then like an hour later, someone's like, "Can you leave tomorrow to come to rookie mini camp?" And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm still a college student. I'm gonna celebrate, but responsibly, kids.
Yeah. Just cake and ice cream.
Of course. I know that just ended up out there, and it's kind of the same. After that, everyone kind of story, but it's that whole window from senior year to your rookie year is just it's a whirlwind. It really is. It's a lot of things are happening. I feel like I kind of have my stuff together, but even then there was just
you get exposed to just not knowing shit. I mean, there's just times you don't know. You don't know, where am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to be here, across the country? Should I go train? Should I go home? Damn.
Yeah. I know. There's all your blind spots are get exposed, like you're saying. But
I got to hear more about the NFL. Everybody's going to want to know what it was like playing with your team with MC up in Baltimore. I have my own view. I'll tell you about it after you answer that.
Okay. So so drafted to Baltimore. Oh, Dan was there. Oh yeah, sorry, that was kind of cool. Dan was there.
Yeah,
and I think, Dan Cody was there. Got to spend some time with him. MC's MC. He's one of the best teammates. Like if you're gonna make like your top 10 teammates of all time across the board in sport, like MC's in there, because he's going to do all the right things. He works hard. He cares about you. Like he was super cool. I was still a rookie, but he was super cool, and it kind of he could never quite get as healthy. Which is, it's kind of things happen for a reason, right? But MC's got to be have one of the best change of directions I've ever seen in person. He's just, I don't know, untouchable at times. It seemed like, right? Like the Matrix, right? The guy could not be tackled. It was really cool. And he showed me a lot of love. Took care of me, and I still he's out here in down by Dallas where I'm at, and we still I still go to him. I still go to him for. I was doing flag football. I was like, hey, what are some good quarters beaters? Because I don't know that off the top of my head.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I still go to him for guidance and advice.
I got to watch. I don't know if I got to see you after the game, but my third year in the league, third going into my fourth too. I was in Cincinnati with the Bengals. And so we used to study you guys all the time. And shout out to y'all's defense. You mentioned Haloti, but Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Jarrett Johnson back then. we would study you guys, and I'm just like, oh my God. I want to play, but those dudes are huge. Damn. Ed Suggs over there on one side. I think y'all had, I think McAllister had just retired. Anyway,
I gotta welcome. Actually, you're bringing out I'm sorry. I don't want to.
No, you good. You good. Good. No, you good.
That was another interesting thing about going to Baltimore. It was like a super vet heavy team. Like they were, those guys. If like today wasn't the day to practice, they were, it was like, hey, and they, I'm not trying to like, they earned it. Like they earned that kind of respect, right? Those guys all earned that kind of respect. But I was like, man, and to me, I was like, man, I kind of want to be like I want to be treated like that, where like I'm looked at as like a pillar of a team. But I had a very funny welcome to the NFL moment. Oh, I got a couple of those. But,
let's hear it.
It was OTAs, and this was back when you could do like competitive drills and OTAs, right? So now it's like don't touch, and rightfully so. Right. I get it, but no, we're doing one-on-ones. Trevor Price was also
huge
problem for me. So, all right, I'm gonna act this out a little bit. So bear with me here. Trevor Price, we're doing one-on-ones. He beats me. I look back at my coach. Coach looks at me. He's like, just get out your stance a bit. Some very kind of generic coach. I was like, okay, I'll try that. We go again. We go again. Same thing happens. Somehow, within like a tenth of a second, he teleported behind me. And was, he was very good.
He had that ability.
So I look back at my coach, and he's just like, he gives me with like kind of a shrug, like that emoji, like it's like,
I don't know what to tell you.
And that was embarrassing. Like, man, maybe I shouldn't be one of those moments.
Yeah.
But like, that was a very not that I was ever an arrogant person or a player, but it was a very humbling experience.
So, what else was humbling was when we played y'all at Cincinnati. And so, Carson Palmer is hurt. So we got Ryan Fitzpatrick rolling in, and he's trying to, get going. And,
that was his 10th year too, right?
Yeah, no joke, right? Yeah, 10th going on 30th back then. He's there. You guys all I noticed is that you guys have a massive offensive line. I think that was when Ogden was there. Obviously, yourself.
Oh, yeah. That was a big group.
Massive. And y'all are just overloading and just pounding us. And it's like it's 14-0, and MC one-hands the ball. One hand catches that one down the sideline. You remember that one? Yes. Just, and the whole crowd is just fucking quiet. Everybody's like, and I'm like, ooh. So I'm like, oh, damn. Well, and then y'all run the fake reverse and run the reverse pass. And so MC hits the pass, and so he's passed for one and he's caught one. Well, the crowd starts getting pissed because Fitzpatrick isn't doing anything. So they're going, Jordan Palmer, clap, 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 clap. Everybody's going crazy. They put Jordan in first play. Pick 6. I don't know if you remember that, but it was awesome.
They took him to the fire. What kind of...
Dog, so funny. So funny. But no, y'all were really, really good. Just any more career moments? Talk to me about Atlanta. Obviously, Super Bowl stuff, whatever. Final thoughts on football.
That was my last season. That was one of my favorite seasons of football ever. It was just first off, let me backtrack. When I was in Washington before Atlanta, had a really, really good relationship with Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan. I love them. Great coaches. Great men. Like somebody needs a kidney, I'm on the next plane out there, right? Those kind of people. They can afford kidneys from somewhere else, though. But
yeah.
But so build a great relationship, and then just going to Atlanta and playing with Kyle and Coach and Dan Quinn. I don't know if you had much time around him or heard about him. But
he was there. I visited Atlanta. He was cool as hell. Yeah. I think he was just DC or something. But
right, great man though. Just a good energy, real kind of brotherhood. Take care of everybody, take care of one another. And just for as cold as a pro sport can be, because there's some great moments. It can be some very kind of like cold, harsh moments. As a player too, right? And I just didn't feel like that. And then on top of it all, it was the best offense I've ever played with, been a part of. It was super explosive. And obviously, we lost in the end, but it just, I mean, that's kind of comes with the territory, right? This is one of the things that Kyle said to me that's kind of always stuck with me, and I tell my kids the same. Is you can't be afraid to fail. You got to put yourself out there, and it hurts. It hurts when you fail, but that's you just can't be scared.
That's good. Finish him off. Is Chris Chester the ultimate OU fan? Does he yell and scream at the TV? I know you don't yell and scream at your coach, at your kids. You're too good of a coach for that. But how much do you focus on the team? What do you think we need to improve on anything? Let me know.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. We'll talk about my fandom a little bit. Okay. So, like I said, I'm very domestic. So we got the typical OU flag that goes out on game days, right? We got we had a gnome and put it in the yard, like I said. I do find myself.
What pisses you off? Tell me what pisses you off.
Oh, okay. Well, so again, back as a fan, I kind of I still watch. I watch when you're kind of jerking, you're like, oh, like you watch when you're trying
the Mike Stoops. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mike Stoops. I do that sometimes. I'm just kind of tweaking out. Yes.
Right.
I do that just because it means I had the chance to meet Lincoln. I went up there to visit Bob. I think it was when we got Kirby and I renewed our vows at the stadium.
Oh yeah. That was a beautiful. Yeah, that was awesome.
I went up there and said hi to the coaching staff, and then Lincoln was in there. He was super cool, man. And so I already had good first impression of him, and it was just I'm a fan. It's there's too much heart. Excuse me. I've left too much of my heart and soul in Norman. Been through too much, gone through, worked too hard there.
Them 2 days was hot as hell. Them 4 trippers at the end of 2 days, brother. We were struggling.
The ramps, the hill. Yes, and I would do it. I would do it again. It's just. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not sure I should do it again. I don't know if but.
Do you have a funny story for anybody you get in with? Anything funny happened in the weight room you can remember besides me getting kicked out and laughed at? That might have been funny for you.
Yeah. Dude, I don't really have a funny Schmitty story.
It wasn't funny while it was happening. That's the other thing. Is the funny shit was outside of it. It was oh man, you remember when such and such passed out and had to blah blah blah. Yeah.
I do have a funny Kevin Wilson story.
Let's hear it.
It's very funny to me. It wasn't funny. It was kind of funny at the time too, actually.
Okay.
So I remember we were playing. I think we were playing Kansas, or maybe it was Baylor. I don't know. It was a TNT game at night. Our senior year.
Okay. We played Kansas City. We played Kansas City, and then we played Baylor at home for homecoming.
Was that a night game?
Yep, both of them night.
I think it was Baylor then. It was I tore my MCL that game, right? So first play, or I think we're in the red zone. We run I don't know what it is. Oh, it was a drop back pass. I'm doing my whole thing. We're blocking. It's kind of one of those things. Somebody got whipped into my legs, right? And MCL, it tears, right? First, that's never happened to me before. So I was what is this? I don't know. So I go out. Try to do the next play. I think I was playing center. I try to block back, and it's just it's bad. It's not happening. Mm-hmm. It's not happening. So I come out the game. Fast forward. I think that same night, did Malcolm Kelly he was eating that night, right? Or he made
he was killing, and then Joaquin made the final touchdown.
Yeah, I knew somebody was. Okay. So anyways, fast forward. We win. It was we went overtime. I don't know. There was
overtime. Yeah. Great memory. Mm-hmm.
All right. We win. Everyone's happy. We go into the meetings the next day. I'm in the meetings watching film. I get the grade sheet, and I see that on the play that I tried to do, I got a minus on the grade sheet. I was like, what? I can't get a plus for toughness or
my leg minus.
I think he might argue was tough love. I would disagree. I don't think think it was the right decision to make as a coach, respectfully.
We also had one of the funny memories was when Coach Hayes would use a word that I didn't know. I became the guy that would sacrifice and raise my hand. You're all discombobulated and shit, cattywampus. What, Coach, what's catty? Oh, your body's all unorthodox. You're all out of whack and shit. You're like, okay.
Does this mean crosswords?
Yeah. What was that? Oh, man. King of sayings. That was unbelievable, but you mentioned it, man. What a great guy.
Yeah, good man.
Good.
Did he got another word? I'm blanking. Never mind. No dead air.
Oh man, he had you're good. But he had so many. Build a house, get a house, man. Sam Bradley. Who's Sam Bradley?
Sam Bradley.
We never found out.
I googled it. I think I googled it a lot. There's no, we don't know that. That's not just something he just made up and said and assumed that, and everyone just know and challenged him.
Yeah.
just come with it.
Too much. Hey, his son can hoop though. He'll dunk on all of us. He will definitely dunk on all of us. I'm like a Lil Jackson and growed up.
Yeah,
he ain't licking the damn cheese things at Pizza Shuttle anymore.
No. Was he putting? Was that his kid that was putting the ketchup on the spaghetti?
Yep. We knew him when he was eating. Exactly.
Yes.
We knew him then. I'm gonna tell him. He probably made a hell of a tight end. He'd probably be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a real crazy.
No joke.
All red zone all the time.
Man, we got to do this again, brother. This was great. We'll catch up maybe after the season or something, man. It's been great.
Yeah.
Want to tell you again, man, in front of all the fans, dude, really, really proud of your career. You deserve it, man. There was nobody who grinded it out more. You mentioned the MCL, just going through everything you went through with Combine, switching positions as a senior, fighting through all that, man. Proud of you, dog. Keep up the great work. And I'll keep podcasting and coaching up some junior high kids in math.
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.